I will be talking about my subject only, that is English literature. So English literature, in this video I will tell you how to study all the lessons first. Lessons means for midterm, if you focus, I can consider 50% syllabus from letter to God, from letter to God to Anne Frank. From letter to God to Anne Frank, this is the main reader syllabus, and what to focus on that. So see here, first letter to God. In letter to God, first we have to focus for 3 marks questions and 6 marks questions. Letter to God, what we have faith in God. So theme wise, if you study, themes are very important. So first focus, random reading will not help you. Random reading will not give you good marks. Instead that, I suggest you go for themes of the lessons, go for characters of the lessons, and the characters are very important in each lesson. For example, Lencho's character is important. Lencho had a great faith in God, great faith in divine, and that faith only made him to write letter to God, and that letter became letter to God. Even in that letter we have to focus on postmaster's role. Postmaster, he was the representative of God, how he helped Lencho, how he wrote letter and what he did for Lencho, that also is important. One more thing, that Lencho, he wrote letter, but at the end he did not pay his gratitude towards God, even not towards postmaster also, even he did not know who gave him money. But ironic situation, the lesson letter to God ends with ironic situation. So ironic situation we have to focus on. Lencho character, as a character we have to focus on. Postmaster we have to focus on, and other things like a dialogue writing, dialogue writing, notice writing. Parallel type questions, if you want to ask, parallel type questions can be there for 6 marks. Go for those parallel type questions. Parallel type questions can come on characters, come on themes, even come on dialogue writings and on. Second lesson, we have many of the students, they say it is difficult lesson, Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom. Now Nelson Mandela's what we have to focus, Nelson Mandela's speech given by Nelson Mandela is very important. After that, after the speech, if you want to ask me exam oriented important points, then I would suggest you oppressor and oppressed we have to focus, twin obligations we have to focus, courage, hatred and love. Courage, hatred and love. What he thinks, what Nelson Mandela thinks about courage, hatred and love, that is important. Even twin obligations I told, oppressor and oppressed I told, and one very important, that real freedom and childhood freedom. Those things if you focus, then enough it is for your examination. Even Nelson Mandela as a character and Nelson Mandela's theme is important, freedom is a theme, and there are parallel type questions. Nelson Mandela, Anne Frank, Amanda, Tiger in the Zoo, these things are parallel, so please focus on those points also. Theme also we have to focus. Then we have third lesson we have his first flight. Again, one of the most important lessons, his first flight, story of seagull. Now story of seagull, again it is important, go for the themes, study the themes first, then go for the summaries, and then go for the characters. Seagull's character is important, mother's role is important, mother's role in seagull's life, and seagull how he dived for the fish, and his initial, in the beginning his behavior, at the end of the story his behavior. Family's role is important, how did they celebrate his first flight, that is also important. So these things, his first flight, that is also important. After that, after his first flight, then we have to go for Black Aeroplane. In the Black Aeroplane nothing is there to study, but that question can come for extract based question. Even the lesson can come for parallel type question. Black Aeroplane narrator and Lencho. Black Aeroplane narrator also had a faith in himself, and Lencho had faith in God. So faith in God and faith in oneself is important. Confidence is important. Taking risk is important. Seagull also took risk. Black Aeroplane narrator also took risk to go into the strong storm, heavy storm, and he went inside, and how he landed his aeroplane successfully. That is the story of Black Aeroplane. Now we have fourth lesson, Anne Frank. Now Anne Frank lesson, please go through the Family background of Anne Frank, her father name, her mother name, sister, her schooling. You can study about Mrs. Cupress also, Montessori school headmistress, Mrs. Cupress, and sister's relationship, mother's relationship, grandmother's relationship is also important. So grandmother's relationship is also important, and then you go for diary entry. Diary entry, Mr. Casing. Mr. Casing is the teacher, math teacher. Sometimes it is known that he was very strict because he did not allow Anne Frank to speak, to talk in the class. But Anne Frank's character, she also wanted freedom. And one more thing, Anne Frank's character, very talkative. Okay, so chatterbox name is given to Anne Frank. Chatterbox means a person who talks more unnecessarily. And three essays you have to focus on. Punishment given by Mr. Casing was very innovative, out of box idea. Being math teacher, he gave punishment, writing essays, that too writing essays on chatterbox only. Three essays, three punishments, reaction of Mr. Casing. Ending of the chapter is also important. How did he take that essays? How did he change his behavior towards Anne Frank? And how did Anne Frank convince her own insights, her own thoughts through the essays are important. So these all things you have to focus on while studying these lessons. So today in this short video I discuss about the lessons Letter to God, then we have Nelson Mandela Walk to Freedom, and then we have his first flight, and then we have Anne Frank.